A band coming out of Baltimore, Maryland has likely been seen on your TikTok feeds. To be clear, they are deserving of your praise, your attention, and even price of admission, except for this show. This show right here, the cost was $0 to get in. Going back to their roots, Turnstile showed that all you need is community, vibes, good music, and good times to celebrate life. In addition, at Wyman Park Dell, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of fans showed up to sing, mosh, and dance with the collective on stage. Watch even here as bassist Franz Lyons has a huge smile on his face, watching the youngsters go crazy at their show. Beautifully, what this event showed was a few things. First, the people want something to celebrate, to collaborate, to be a cohesive. They want a reason to congregate. They want a reason to let loose, especially during such chaotic times. The other is the power of music can lead to great causes and great things. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, allow me to explain. At this show, via Billboard.com, fans traveled across the country to this event, which is about 16 acres. Featured, of course, crowd surfing, moshing, sing-alongs. Here's the kicker. QR codes were seen throughout the park that allowed fans to donate to a cause that is called Healthcare for the Homeless, which offers medical, dental, therapy, and addiction support services to Baltimore's most vulnerable populations. So before you're watching these videos and you're thinking, not really my thing, not into punk, not into this sort of genre, number one, you. Number two, you should realize the causes that are going into what they want to support and how their music can be a driver for things that oligarchs don't want us to have. The Baltimore Banner, who does great work, by the way, fantastic journalist, broke story after story after story in the Baltimore area, reported that they raised money for Baltimore's healthcare for the homeless, and their drummer, Daniel Fang, told the outlet prior to this raucous show, that aspect of inclusivity is really important for us. So if we're able to do it for free at an outdoor park, of all places, that's just the peak of our ideal show. This is kind of what we dream of.
So I was watching so many clips of the Turnstile show in Baltimore in that park, and I got really emotional. Just seeing waves of people on like a really sunny day. You can look into the crowd and it's people that, are older. There were kids dancing on the stage. There were scene people. There were just random people passing by. You can tell it was just a collection of very diverse groups and people. And they were just all having a really good time. And they were all able to bond over the music that Turnstile was playing. And not to be corny, but honestly, this is what it's about. Just bringing different types of people together and having a really good time. I've been really critical of the kind of new indie label that Turnstile's had, and it's brought on a lot of, you could call it posers, and thinking, hardcore is, cool and heavy and edgy. But I think at the end of the day, if they're able to bring in a crowd of just different types of people and they all enjoy the same music and have a good time, I think that's really what it's all about. And yeah, I think in times like this, we really need to focus on just bringing different groups of people together, and I think that's just really meaningful. So yeah, Turnstile Summer. I wish the tickets were cheaper in New York, but I'm super excited for their new music coming soon.
They would also print this, which is very important. Unregistered nurse booking founder Dana Murphy, who would be organizing the concert with the group, said that the band financed this whole event themselves, without sponsors. She said it took a team of 60 and 70 people to execute the vision of the band, which had been in the works for 5 plus months. Murphy's proud that the event went smoothly and was received ever so warmly. The buzz was there prior to showtime. Baltimore Banner and other outlets spoke with people who had camped out, who had even flown across the country, even from California, to go and see this show. And Turnstile was building up buzz because they had not released an album in 4 years, so the anticipation was building off a Grammy nom. Christina Bauer, the director of development for healthcare for the homeless, spoke to WBAL-TV and said this, quote, "We deal with everything from primary care to behavioral health. We have an OB clinic, dental clinic, pediatric clinic. They launched a program, street medicine for people who can't access services. They are trying to reach people where they are and provide care in a way that would make sense to the patient." And of course, the group. Talent coordinator Murphy hit the nail on the head here once more. And this is the quote to end all quotes. "We wanted a show to be for everybody, the same way that healthcare should be for everybody."
Class politics in the sense of which side are you on? Are you going to stand with working families? Are you going to raise the minimum wage to a living wage or not? Are you going to fight to guarantee health care to all people or not? Are you going to demand that the wealthiest people start paying their fair share of taxes or not? Those are the issues. And no one cares what color you are, what your gender is, et cetera, et cetera.
You retweeted a post by Bernie Sanders that said, yes, we waste hundreds of billions a year on healthcare administrative expenses that make insurance CEOs and wealthy stockholders incredibly rich, while 85 million Americans go uninsured or underinsured. Healthcare is a human right. We need Medicare for all.
What about an economy in which we join the rest of the industrialized world, guarantee health care to all people as a human right, and where we don't pay the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs? Those are the issues.
Liz, there's a reason why he's so popular with independents. He sees it accurately. And by the way, the deep state tried to kill him, right? I mean, quote unquote kill him.
You're running for office. If you, in your heart, understand what's going on in Gaza right now, and again, it's almost painful to talk about it. The United States is complicit in the starvation of children as we speak right this moment. Okay, mass malnutrition, etc. And you say that's wrong, man. And I'm not going to give Netanyahu another nickel, but I know that the day I say that, AIPAC is going to pour a huge amount of money. So what's the choice you have? The choice you have is, okay, they're going to throw a lot of money at me, but I'm going to make this a major campaign issue.
Ooh.
I ain't going to run away from it.
Yeah.
What do we stand for as a nation? And I'll tell you something, getting back to the Democratic Party. What the Democratic establishment people say, well, Gaza, it's an issue out there, but it's not the main issue. It's not the pocketbook issues, more important. Healthcare is more important. But you know what? I'll tell you this is my own view, is what people have a sense, consciously and unconsciously, if you are turning your back on starving children in Gaza, why the hell am I going to trust you on anything?
It's a great point.
Is that a fair point?
I think it's a very fair point.
Suleiman Al-Obaid, the Pele of Palestinian soccer, hoped to keep playing until he was 50, but an Israeli tank shell dashed his dream a decade early, his family said. The shell killed the 41-year-old this week in southern Gaza while he was waiting in line to collect food. His widow, Doa Al-Obaid, called this the shock of her life. She clutches onto the number 10 shorts he wore for his Gaza club, Al-Shati, calling it the most precious thing left behind by him. It's one of the only mementos she has of her late husband. Many of his belongings were destroyed in a bombardment that hit their home earlier this year.
Palestinian footballer Suleiman Al-Obaid has been killed in an Israeli attack in Gaza as he was waiting for food at a site run by the notorious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation on August the 6th. The 41-year-old was known as the Palestinian Pele after the famous Brazilian footballer. Now, Liverpool's Mo Salah has criticised Europe's football governing body, UEFA, for posting a tribute without revealing how the former international player died.
Adrift in a Boat says instead of blaming UEFA, Mohamed Salah should have blamed Israel directly and called out the genocide. Maybe he's worried about his pay packet. Well, I like to say the glass is half full rather than half empty. I had a lot to say about Mohammed Salah on the show and right across social media. Millions of people heard me. And within 48 hours, Mo Salah did say something. You're right, he did not attack Israel himself, but he asked a beautiful and brilliant question. UEFA had put out a condolence note on the death, as they put it, of Palestine's national football team captain. But without mentioning that he hadn't died, he'd been killed, murdered. Without mentioning where he'd died, killed, murdered. Without mentioning who killed him, murdered him, and what he was doing at that moment when they killed, murdered him.
Right now, UEFA has been very coy. I think their statement was a bit of a surprise because over the past almost 2 years, what UEFA, what FIFA, what FIFPro, the Players' Union position has been complete silence.
But it prompted Mo Salah, Liverpool's Mo Salah, of course, to share the post with a comment from Mo. Can you tell us how he died? Where? And why? Now that was brought to the attention of the former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn online, as well as former Match of the Day presenter Gary Lineker, who shared Salah's message before adding himself, "We can't hear you, UEFA."
Because I personally don't think a football club should have any position on anything other than football. And whilst other people will disagree and want to leverage football clubs for all kinds of different opportunities to create different kinds of campaigns and different kinds of messaging, I think the central message that a football club should be about entertainment and about football. And by the way, who cares what the football club believes? Who cares what Liverpool think of the issue in Gaza? With due respect to Liverpool Football Club, that's not Liverpool Football Club's position. And if we want to have it leveraged because that's what people choose to do, I don't understand what it's got to do with UEFA. I don't understand why Gary Lineker would be indexing it to UEFA or anything. We see these football organisations get themselves tied up in knots because they want to get involved in things that they're not equipped to get involved in. And when it gets hot in the kitchen, they don't like it. So they want to do a little dance, which is the populist dance, like all politicians want to do, and all people that want to leverage it. When they like something, they'll index themselves to it.
That guy's name is Simon Jordan. And just for reference, when Mohammed Salah, Liverpool great, put out this video in October of 2023.
It's not always easy to speak in time like this. There has been too much violence and too much heartbreaking brutality. The escalations in the recent weeks is unbearable to witness. All lives are sacred and must be protected. The massacres need to stop. Families are being torn apart. What's clear now is that humanitarian aid to Gaza must be allowed immediately. The people there are in terrible conditions. The scenes at the hospital last night were horrifying. The people of Gaza need food, water, and medical supplies urgently. I'm calling in the world leaders to come together to prevent the further slaughter of innocent souls. Humanity must prevail.
Here was his response. Take a look.
Particularly like him as a player. I don't particularly like certain things about him. I didn't like some of the things that he said recently about conflicts and altercations in other countries when he's popped up, when it's been something about a particular ethnicity that he has a belief in. But those are sort of moot points. Those are background noise.
It is very clear where he derives his politics from. He wants this sense of neutrality. He does not want clubs speaking out. He does not want players speaking out. He thinks there is a way to separate sports and politics when really they have been intertwined for not decades, centuries. So Simon Jordan, awful stuff. On behalf of this story, it all began with that tweet from UEFA, where they said farewell to Suleiman Al-Obaid, the Palestinian Pele, a talent who gave hope to countless children, even in the darkest times. Immediate red flag. Farewell? He's not retiring, he's gone forever. And then Salah, who has caught some flack, which I do understand to a certain degree, though speaking out is the absolute least that someone could do. And what I think a lot of people lost in his tweet when he said, "Can you tell us how he died, where, and why?" is this. We did that over and over and over again. We did that because the mainstream press in Western media would not say it. So I think he actually took what could almost be deemed a slogan at this point and put it above UEFA's tweet. And UEFA continues to act in pure cowardice fashion by not correcting it. Now, it should be noted, according to Reuters, the PFA, or the Palestinian Football Association, said that Al-Obaid, 41, was killed by an Israeli strike that was targeting civilians waiting for humanitarian aid. In all, according to ABC, 662 athletes and scouts have been killed since October of 2023. 325 players, coaches, administrators, refs, and club board members in the Palestinian soccer community have died, and NBC wrote about 1,400 Palestinians have been killed while seeking food aid. It is clear. It cannot be more clear.
Who's your favorite host?
Who? Elon? I'm just playing.
Was he your least favorite host?
No, he was a little. He threw me off a little bit to start because
his monologue was ridiculous.
He threw me off because when we met, I was trying to pitch him. Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, goes into the Waffle House, falls in love with the waitress, Brenda. Elon can get anything he wants. He can get the mailman to himself. He can get the dogs to lick his hand. He can have any woman he wants.
Brenda doesn't like him.
Except Brenda. And he was like...
And of course, she's you.
He was like, why wouldn't Brenda want me? I was like, you know what? Never mind. Never mind, mother...
Wow.
He's like, I don't understand why Brenda wouldn't want me.
When it comes to Elon Musk, his sense of humor is trash.
His friend was like, I could get it if he had like a dog paw for a hand. I'm like, you know what? Never mind, y'all. He couldn't understand why Brenda did. First of all, Brenda is not real. Brenda's not a real
The level of self-aggrandizement to think there's a woman in the world who wouldn't want me?
The caucasity.
An incredible story from Punky Johnson, a ex-Saturday Night Live cast member who pitched this bit when Elon hosted in May of 2021. But just how unfunny is Elon Musk?
Great job, Kelly. Thank you very much. Elon, I love the double hat, by the way. He's the only one that can do that. Get away with it.
Well, Mr. President, you know, they say I wear a lot of hats. It's true. Even my hat has a hat.
Does that answer your question? No. Do you want more?
Thanks, guys. Have a seat. So, that was something. I am become meme. Yeah, pretty much. I'm living the meme. It's like there's living the dream and there's living the meme, and it's pretty much what's happening, you know? You're like, I think you're bigger. I mean, Doge started out as a meme. Think about it. And now it's real. Isn't that crazy? It is crazy. But it's cool. I mean, we're trying to get good things done, but also, have a good time doing it, and, and have, like, a sense of humor, you know? So, the left wanted to make comedy illegal, you know? Yeah. Like, you can't make fun of anything. So then it was like, comedy sucks. It's like, nothing's funny. You can't make fun of anything. It's like, legalize comedy.
A train wreck. A very wealthy, trust fund baby, apartheid-loving train wreck. Meanwhile, the TikTokers are dunking on him.
Make comedy legal again.
So
I wish it was illegal for you to do comedy.
that's just like, that's your opinion. Yeah. Everybody's got an opinion. Opinions are like, everybody's got one.
Your eyes look like.
Okay, well, shut up. So, in the front row, what do you do for work?
I'm a gynecologist.
Gynecologist. What is this guy, like a pervert or something?
You have 10 kids with multiple women.
Okay, well, so somebody asked me something. Somebody asked me what came in the mail today.
What came in the mail today, Elon?
These nuts.
God. Boo.
I love comedy. Comedy is so back. Yes, comedy's back.
You suck! Get off the stage! You suck! What the are you doing?
That's pretty much what's happening. Comedy's back. I love comedy. Make comedy legal again.
And so are members of this current administration. One senior Trump official told Rolling Stone, "I have been in the same room with Elon Musk, and he always tries to be funny. And he's not funny, like at all. He makes these jokes and little asides and smiles and then looks almost hurt if you don't lap up his humor." The source continues, "I keep using the word annoying. A lot of people who have to deal with him do, but the word doesn't do the situation justice. Elon just thinks he's smarter than everyone else in the room and acts like it, even when it's clear he doesn't know what he's talking about." Actual professionals in their field would tell the Los Angeles Times, Nikki Glaser would state, "The sad part is that he thinks he's funny, but that's really our fault more than his. We both fear him and also desire his wealth and power, so in order to gain his acceptance, people around him laugh and encourage this. It's the same as when people laugh at your pilot's dumb puns. We laugh not because he's funny, but because we fear if we don't, he'll fly us into a mountain." Another comedian added, "There's nothing funny about greedy, crony capitalists. People root for the underdog. David was funnier than Goliath. Jews in general are funny. Try hanging around some Jews instead of amplifying anti-Semitic tropes about George Soros. Well done." Lastly, "It's hard to be funny and cool," says another comedian. "You have to be able to laugh at yourself, which is just a skill he doesn't have. If you just were as obviously broken as you clearly are, people would like it more just because people root for an underdog, but that requires a level of vulnerability that he's not comfortable with." It's quite clear that there needs to be some form of acknowledging one's faults that makes many comedians hilarious. Elon is incapable. He is incapable of realizing he is not perfect. And I think what frustrates him the most, to be very clear about this, is that he can kick people off the board of certain companies. He can funnel millions upon millions of our taxpayer money to the president in their campaign to curry favors. He can call himself the founder of certain companies when all he did was buy it. He did not think of any of these ideas to create companies, and he can own a social media company. But if there is one consistency, when it at least comes to this subject, is that he can't buy being funny. He is painfully unfunny. It is remarkable for one man's existence to lack such charisma, to be so over the top, disgustingly, grossly unfunny. If you're a rich guy, you can be funny. I want to be clear about this. And it's not even just like a rich comedian. You can have your funny moments. But for him, it'll never happen, ever. Even some who are MAGA loyalists despise him because he's just not funny. How painful was well, you know, Mr. President, they say I wear many hats, and he puts on 2 hats? What 4-year-old are you trying to amuse? And even that 4-year-old would tell him to his face that he's unfunny. I think I hit the nail on the head previously. It is painful to watch this guy try and try again. And let me be clear, hold the line. Do not let this man ever see you laugh with him. Laugh at him.